I can't think of anything witty to say. It's just really intro. Hello and welcome back to Pop Culture Recap, a series where I break down the month's entertainment news. And first up on the agenda is some Disney news, because obviously that's all we talk about on this channel. But it's a follow-up from the previous video where we were crying over Spiderman leaving the MCU. Well, turns out he isn't, and we all just had a big worry over absolutely nothing. What I discussed in my last video was that Disney were the actual bad guys of this situation, and that Sony took the Spider-Man rights back to try and teach Disney a lesson on actually paying people. But now apparently Kevin Feige's directing a Star Wars film, and that's so monumental that Sony cowered in fear and backed down and just gave the rights back. It's a cop-out, and Disney now hasn't learnt anything from this situation. They can just continue to treat people poorly, but at least we don't get a full Spider-Man reboot. What's next? On the topic of Marvel, two more film celebrities have come out of the woodwork trying to gain relevance by trashing the Marvel films, and they join a long list of people who have tried and failed to do that. Martin Scorsese compared the Marvel films to theme parks and said that they were boring and unwatchable, but then in a later interview confessed that he hadn't actually watched all of a Marvel film. So, you kind of need to watch a film the whole way through before you can talk about it. Because the Critic series I don't talk about a film in it unless I have watched the film at least twice. Or if it's a video game, I will have had to have played the whole game all the way through. And the other person is Jennifer Aniston, who said that the Marvel films are the reason that cinema is failing, which is rich coming from someone who acts in almost every Adam Sandler film to come out, because Adam Sandler films are totally the pinnacle of cinema creation. Basically, these are just opinions. They're fine to have them, but at least try to back them up with some evidence. You can't just say, "Oh, the Marvel films suck," without having either A, seen them, or B, know anything about them. And then Scorsese's comment of, "Oh yeah, the films aren't cinema." Yes, they are. That just depends on how you define cinema, which I myself would define as any visual narrative shown to an audience. So, as much as I hate to admit it, that makes Transformers films cinema, because that's what the term means. The definition isn't a gauge for how good a film is, it just classifies it as a film. So, they are cinema. You might not think that they're pretty good cinema, but that's your opinion. Secondly, today, moving away from the topic of film and onto video games, the giant gaming company Blizzard, who we have talked about on this channel before for their work on Overwatch, recently banned one of their top pro players because of their political opinions. And for those of you not aware, there is a huge let's just say, debate going on about the ownership of Hong Kong at the moment. I won't get into the politics because it isn't that important. So, the main gist of it is that a competitive Hearthstone player by the name of Blitzchung won a Grand Masters tournament in Hearthstone, which is no easy feat, mind you. That's quite an achievement. And then, in an interview, or something, I don't know, he was asked about the situation in Hong Kong, about their fight for democracy. Now, this player is from Hong Kong, so obviously he will be for that country. He won't be on the side of China. But after hearing that, the Blizzard banned him and took away his prize money, which is just petty. And they gave a broad statement, like that he broke a particular rule, which the rule prohibits, quote, engaging in any act that, in Blizzard's sole discretion, brings you into public disrepute, offends a portion or group of the public, or otherwise damages Blizzard image. It's that last one that's the important one, because apparently a Blizzard are keeping in a player with these opinions on Hong Kong, therefore utterly destroys the Chinese market. So Blizzard banned this player just to keep on China's good side. So they tried to keep one group happy, and then ended up absolutely annoying literally everyone else. Like, the majority of Blizzard players are now trying to boycott their games, which, I mean, I have been doing for a while with Overwatch, but that's a completely different matter. And it isn't the first case of companies were bowing down to Chinese markets. I can't remember any other examples off the top of my head, but I know there are ones. It's kind of a similar Disney Sony scenario. It's one company just bowing down in order to please the other group who has all the power. But the thing that really annoys me is that even if they did ban him, why did they take away his prize money? The prize money is completely unrelated to that. Was giving... Like... The way someone... How good someone is at your game should be completely independent of their opinions not related to their game. It might just be me, but I think that's a pretty reasonable ask for Blizzard to just not be the arsehole in this situation. And then thirdly, and a third on the agenda today, the film Joker came out, which, if you don't know, is a film about the popular comic book villain Joker, who has been in like literally every other Batman reboot. And there was a great, let's just put it, hysteria over the violence in the film and whether it would encourage other people to act the same way. Now, I might have missed something in the film, but I'm pretty sure the character that turns into Joker starts off as having a mental disability, so therefore, if people take this film seriously, no one would actually end up as the Joker unless they have the exact same mental illness, which I'm not even sure the laughing one in the film exists. And at the end of the day, and it's just a piece of fiction. I think people are able to distinguish reality from a film, especially one with a villain dressed like a clown. But apparently, it was still pretty problematic, because the New York Police Department put undercover police in the screenings of the film because they were so scared that it would inspire a mass shooting during the screening of the film. And now the film has been out for about a week and a half, and still no issues have arisen from the film at all. So I think this is a case of crying wolf. But the point of the film wasn't to encourage other people to act the same way as Joker. The point of the film was to use this comic book character in a way to be an allegory for our society, and to show that with our current society that we are in, it isn't out of the realms of possibility that a Joker could arrive. It's a warning. So good, you're scared. That's the point of the film. Congratulations. And there's also like other random articles where people are saying oh yeah, the Joker film is a violent film and it isn't suitable for children. We have to be told that. Like that isn't already clear from the film being rated R16. I mean, honestly, if you're taking a child to see an R16 film, I don't know what you're expecting, to be honest. Anyway, that's all the main stories out of the way. Is there anything else? Any smaller bits of news, trailers and whatnot? Lost in Space 2 released its trailer, which I am really happy about because that show was awesome. Apparently, also Bond 25 has finished production, and instead of Daniel Craig slitting his own wrists like he promised he would, he apparently said that he really enjoyed about producing the film, which is a good sign. This should be a good Bond film, or at the very least better than Spectre. Anyway, that is all the months in entertainment news. So I will see you next month, or in the next video I release. I don't know which will come first. Anyway, farewell.